Hello everyone, welcome back to MoteMancer. I'm here on the fire plane, which I think we got... this is a new session for me. I'm sort of coming back, like, what was I in the middle of, right? I know I had done, like, basic fire research and was deciding, I guess, like, how to start laying stuff out for prism-based research and whether I want to get into earth stuff, like I guess brimstone is the new thing that is both of them right away, or get going on some fire stuff first. Remind me, what is the recipe for... Well, so for prisms, yeah, it's just like fire and prisms, but for like... Yeah, okay, so bismuth and coralite, you just need like some elements to make, right? So I assume the same would be true for brimstone, right? You need prisms to research it, but then you can make it with just elements. So I could get access to this area, I assume. And then, like, you just need... the corresponding prisms and, I assume, brimstone to research most of the stuff in here. So it would be interesting, but I don't know. I want to, like, start having some idea of what I'm going to do about entropy. I also feel like I want a bigger scale for my research than I had on the life plane, right? I had one altar, and I know that, like, is, you know, all the big boys who play Factorio games, or factory games, are all about scale. And you can, like, you know, you can do a lot with one altar eventually, but it just feels like there's stuff in here that I'm sure I would like to produce more quickly, right? Like, I don't know. It would be nice if I had verdant streams to use instead of just streams, right? For example. It would be nice if I just had, like, a giant bag of mana pools that I could pull from and not have it slow down the entire research section of the factory for a while. It would be nice if I could extract huge amounts of elements from collectors. And to do all that, I want more scale so I can research stuff more quickly and then build lots of the things that are revealed by that research. So I don't know. I feel like it would be desirable to have an actual large assembly line for making the stuff that goes into science, right? Instead of shipping in, what, 8 collectors this is like half a slab, right? And I had like 16 collectors maybe in 1 or 2 places to ship one entire slab. It would be nice to tap a couple of moat patches, enough to deliver an entire streamway of moats of earth or whatever, and turn that into an entire streamway of moats of elemental earth, and do the same for fire so I can do this research more quickly. Uh-oh. What's wrong? Did I move something? I unpowered this somehow. I'm sure it was powered before. That's how all this got here. It must have been when I was moving this Tinker's table, the mana bloom got moved, and now this isn't part of the root network anymore? Here. No? Oh, because it's not touching this either. this is a bit messy. All right, even when shipping water into Earth from Life, my plane of abundance, I shipped, I think, 3-ish per second, maybe? I would just like to have more. So to do that, one of the things I need is a lot of production buildings. So maybe I'm supposed to finally build my salt sanctuary. Or a number of them to start churning out elemental binders. I constructed those by hand previously, but I recently, building like 10 of them, it just takes forever. Yeah, let's build a salt sanctuary and try to get that going. I'm putting off the fire research some more, not for any particularly important reason. Yeah, you know what? I should also, since I'm doing so much manual building. Inventory's full. I should just have a bunch of these raw materials in hand to make stuff with, I guess. I need slabs as well, huh? Sure. So what's the recipe for a salt sanctuary? Oh, right, no, not that. That I already have. An elemental binder, which wants grindstones and salt prisms. Okay. I have salt prisms right here, and isn't grindstones just like this stuff? No, it's salt prisms and ether. Right, that's the problem with merging these two lanes. Okay, well, I have ready access to Earth Rippers. Let's just make this 2 separate lanes, this whole merging thing. Maybe it was a good idea at the time, but it no longer is. That's my verdict. And it's just so easy to keep the lanes separate. Right, it costs me this 1 streamway and a couple grippers who... Oh, the grippers are in the wrong place! No, they're in a great place. It's the streamway who's wrong. There we go. Oh, what do you know, my inventory is full again. Let's get rid of this fire power stuff. I can make more if I need it, but right now it's just clutter. Okay, so, I mean, this is less elegant than it could be. Actually, in some ways, it's more elegant, you might venture to claim? Because if I'm careful here, couldn't I just build... Not quite, I guess. I was like, oh, I'll put a grindstone in here. I mean, I can do it. It just ends up looking like this is all. Because now I can take the ether. Oh, I put it in a bad place. Like the only place where it doesn't work. Great, good work, me. So it has to be, yeah, that should work. Nope. This, well, okay, it will work. This is just in the way, is all. So this is finally grindstones, right? They're slow, but it's very easy. And frankly, I could use a chest of this stuff. Because when I want grindstones, 20 is not always enough. There we go. So what about this Sanctuary of Salt business? Oh, I guess the problem is, now that I've done it this way, I was like, oh, I need grindstones for Sanctuary of Salt. I should automate that. Yeah, great. Or no, I'm not automating salt sanctuaries. I'm automating binders. Right. I could automate salt sanctuaries, I suppose. I hope I don't need... I mean, someday maybe I'll have that level of production. I guess it would be a good problem to need more binders than I have. But it seems to me that I could just put a salt sanctuary right here. And it is being fed grindstones, and it also wants many, many salt prisms, which I don't have any streamway deltas anymore, huh? I mean, you know, this... Is this the most elegant thing anyone's ever done? No, of course not. But I keep claiming that I'm going to just treat this as a short-term place here. So let's just make it ugly and enjoy ourselves. Embrace the spaghetti. That's the fun part. Not there, but here's what I meant. Oh, grindstones are that slow, huh? No, the issue is the input to grindstones is very slow. This gripper is not keeping up. Do I have any... Under my theory... No, Earth is the logistics branch. It shouldn't be fire. There shouldn't be grippers in here. And indeed, it looks that way. I heard something about there being grippers in here that are Earth grippers and so benefit from the extra carrying capacity, but aren't reaching. They're just like normal grippers, or maybe fancy grippers in some way I don't know about, but that they don't require this weird like extra distance to carry stuff. Well, okay. I mean, here's one thing I could do. Actually, does that work? No, the streamway is a bit bigger than that. It requires more space. Right, but I don't need to stream. I just need more surface area. I can do this. And indeed, oops, not that. Or are we actually caught up now? It seems like, yeah, these two grippers... I mean, I guess I could do the math, right? But I haven't. It takes 4 seconds to make one thing. So 3 ether every 4 seconds. Yeah, that's less than 1 per second, so 2 of these should be fine. Alright. What is your problem? You have salt prisms. Why aren't you taking this guy's grindstones? Oh, I'm putting them all in a box. I see. I do want the box. But it should not be the primary. Ah, whatever. Forget the box. I'll just have the inventory be in here. Or in here if I go pick it up. 20 should be plenty, right? 20 is like an entire mote field. Although I do envision projects where I might someday want to cover multiple mote fields in a single project. But hopefully by that time I'll have better grind... Oh no, these are just grindstones. I don't have better grindstones yet. So I actually do need a lot of these. I mean, there are solutions that are possible, like I could do this, right? Just move the chest. It takes up space in an awkward place, but... Now, this one is prioritizing. I mean, I can just delete it, yeah. Okay. So now I have 20 binders. Surely that's a lot, right? Is that the stack size? Can I tell? It is. Alright. Well... Didn't I just build a bunch of chests? Where did they all go? That's... yeah, those are chests. Whew, I thought I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so we're gonna make up to 120 elemental binders, which is enough to process 60 of an element per second. That seems like a lot. I'm happy with that. Anything I want to do... I would be thrilled if I ever got to the point where I said, you know what? I want to start a new project where I'm taking in more than 60 per second of an element, and I can build it so quickly that I need more than 120 elemental binders in my possession right now. I just don't see that. I'm not that good at this game. So, despite all the evidence of this fantastic engineering that might lead you to think I'm that good at this game. Alright, so... I still don't know what the deal with this stuff is. It makes power... Oh, would you stop throwing away my elemental fire, please? It makes fire. It makes more if you have more area, I guess. The details are unclear, and... Sorry, it makes power. The details of how it works are unclear, and I don't need it because life is still producing way more power than I need. So, let's... I keep hitting M to look at the map, and it just doesn't exist. Let's go looking for... Okay, well... It would be nice if I had the stuff I need when I get there, wouldn't it? Because what I want is, like, a ton of collectors and just ship a bunch of fire somewhere, right? Why do I have all this elemental water? It's like, do I even need it to make deltas? I don't even need it to make verdant streams. I don't need it to make deltas. I don't do anything with elemental water. I don't know how I came to have hundreds of elemental water in my pockets. Let's just put that down, I guess. So A, I now have somewhere to put this spare element in case I ever decide I need it for some reason. And B, I'm building up a local buffer of water in case something goes wrong on the life plane. Fine. Now, let's build... I don't know. 30, 60? I'm not sure how many I built there. I think it was more like 60. Nope. More like 30. Okay, whatever. Well, no, I think I didn't have very many, and I already have 1 million now. I don't know. What would it take to automate those? I think the problem was that I had the right elements, but the wrong... They were arranged wrong, and then when I moved this stuff, maybe it would become easier to make them. Salt and ether. Oh. No, salt prisms and ether, I mean. It's this. Okay, but in like a grindstone, I think, right? No, a tinker's table. Which I don't have any of, but I could make some. Yeah, I know. Cinder forges. That's cool and all. Wrong buttons. Here we go. Ta-da! My Tinker's Table of Shame is on the way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Didn't I say? Oh, I'm pressing Q on the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. And collectors are the thing that I really hope I never need too many of, because by the time I embark on big construction projects, or big moat gathering projects, well, I hope to have better collectors. The thing is, I'm currently scouting for lots of fire, and I don't have better collectors now, so it would be nice if I had them now, and I don't. But surely in the future I'll never need them again, right? Okay, so this is earth. Which I do need something to make salt to bind the fire with. Hey, this stuff is just popping in. This has not even been generated yet? More earth. I don't know why fire is so hard to come by here. I feel like there was tons of earth on the life plane. But maybe that was because it was near the portal and there's like special rules for the starting area on the starting plane. Because like it's not randomly generated, right? Or like maybe it was, but it's the same random generation for everybody, at least for now. There's not any actual randomness. And so it could be that the dev said, well, let's make sure there's some stuff near the starting area for every element. But on other planes, players can fend for themselves. It's possible. I don't have any evidence that that's the case, aside from the fact that I'm walking a long way and seeing only earth. No fire, not even any life. You would expect fire and life to be equally common, of course. So I say not even life, not because I expect it to be there more, but because, like, hey, at least that's another thing I could be looking for, even if at the moment I'm not. Like, I don't want to ship stuff back from this distance. I also don't... Ooh, is that... No, that's just more earth, isn't it? That's earth I already saw, I think. I'm looping back. Yeah. I'm also not sure how this... Like where this is on the life plane. If I open a field here, am I going to create entropy that's going to wreck my factory and thus my power supply on this plane? This isn't done, is it? No. Okay. Earth, 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 earth. Well... Okay, well now that I know where the portal is, I know that those would not be disrupting anything. There's nothing in that area on the life plane. I know there was another mote field for fire up here somewhere that I didn't want to touch. I think because it was, like, maybe too close to something on the life plane, or it was too tucked away in a corner like this. Is this it? I think this is it. Oh yeah, and so, like, what's the deal with this? I thought rifts were only supposed to spawn. I came up here once in a previous episode, and I saw this, and I was like, I don't understand, because rifts are only supposed to spawn when you interact with mote fields, which I think means placing collectors on them. Maybe even cleaning them up by hand counts, although that would be surprising. Because this is a really nice spot. It's got life and fire right next to each other. Both rare elements in this plane. Although there's more life up here. This is Earth? Yeah, this is a great spot to, like, start gathering materials, except for that rift. Ooh. And here's a nice place to get a bunch of elemental life, not that I particularly need it right now. So I don't know what that rift was all about. Ooh, is that 2 fire? No, one of them's life, isn't it? Okay. But... Or sorry, Earth, I mean. There is life here, but I was talking about this Earth. I just got confused and said fire. Yeah, so here's more fire. So this is a really productive area, I guess. And I don't think it's near anything I'm doing on the life plane. Maybe it's near my starting base, near the Great Portal. I'm not sure. But I don't think so. Oh, did I bring enough streamways with me? Not even close. Okay. So... I think what I'd like to do is just... Oh. Build kind of like a... No... A series of extraction bases on the several mote fields that I've just passed, so I can ship those home. And in that way, I hope to have an abundance of raw motes. Well, I say ship them home. I don't want to do all this research near the portal. A, there's not that much space. B, I imagine well, I was going to say, I imagine doing that would create entropy problems, but of course not. You only get entropy from rifts. There's going to be entropy up here, but if I ship this down to the portal, I'm not increasing the amount of entropy anywhere. So I just want to clean off, like, all these areas. It would be nice if there was something like biorhythm for harvesting. Like, this excavator thing in Earth that I'm using now certainly speeds things up, right? But it would be nice if I could just, like, clear cut an area by standing there. You know? Now, arguably, I don't really need to prioritize this Earth patch because there's just Earth patches everywhere. But it's nice to have one mining outpost, right? That's doing a bunch of mining. So that I can have localized power and not have to power, like, everywhere in the world. And I do need a lot of Earth eventually for building brimstone and brimstone-related things. Okay, so this... It seems like even doing this to mote fields triggers entropy. Maybe this is the thing that triggers entropy. Maybe mining them doesn't. Could be. I don't really know about a downpour bastion. I never use Swiftstone. I am not a concrete boy. Maybe I should, like, pave the path out here, but I hope to never have to come back, right? Yeah. Why am I carrying mana cultivators? This should all be in a chest for, like, labeled hoarding, you know? Actually, oh no, mana cultivators need leaves, or at least motes of life. I could make this a self-powered mining outpost, I suppose. But motes of life are not very efficient. And leaves are difficult to make, so I guess I would want it to be solar self-powered. But the thing about solar power is that it is very centralizing, right? It wants all the solar power in one place. Because you get this quadratic scaling with stuff that's all on the same network. Right? Alright, let's start putting some stuff down. Yes, I just got that one rift for harvesting, for placing harvesting motes on all of these. I'm not sure, like, how that works. Yeah, so this, I want fire, and I still haven't really figured out a better layout for this stuff than just, like, 4 of them in a row. With the fancier harvesters, I haven't figured out any good layout at all, frankly. With these, at least this seems to work okay. So this fills one slab, right? Actually, I can find out, I think, pretty easily. Well, no, because I don't have any slabs. I'm doing this with streamways instead. But I should get... If I power this on all at once, I should expect roughly 1/4 full, right? Let's just stretch it out. Okay, the rift has appeared. Yeah, that looks... I mean, I could believe that's about 1/4. Sure. I think it's probably a bit more because I have passives that are increasing its productivity. Alright, turn that off. That spread from nothing to this much pretty fast, but I think this is basically like the nothing size. I don't know. Let's make space for my earth area, I guess. Now, more collectors here. And it looks like I can maybe fit more than 16. Am I crazy, or is this patch bigger than the other one? same size. I think every patch is the same size, but I somehow thought this one might be bigger. So this we should expect to we should get the same amount of fire from here as we do from here, and so this should be a good balancer. Except, of course, that when we are backed up, or yeah, we won't consume evenly from the two patches in situations where we're not fully consuming the input. We'll consume from, well, I guess since this one always feeds the left and this one always feeds the right, as long as we consume equally from the two sides of this, it's not like we'll always gather from the further or from the nearer one, which sometimes happens. Yeah, okay, these rifts are... they're here, I can say that about them. Alright. I did bring a lot of roots, although I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Where am I? I want to, I guess, veer this way to pick up more earth. Slash some life. Here's some earth. I mean, the stuff is everywhere. Always trying to trick me and leave some behind. Yeah, like, I mean, all these roots, wouldn't it be nice if I just used solar panels, right? Or solar power, which is called mana leaves in this game. But it's just so inefficient. And also harder than just, like, running roots, you know? Back to my main source of limitless power, the life plane. Okay, am I getting close? Oh my gosh. So here's this, which I think was on the way. This rift is a little bit foreboding, but it should be fine to run belts through there as far as I've determined. Where the fuck is everything? Okay, I can find that out. Life is below us, great. I'm glad I'm leaving this trail of roots behind me, because I don't think I could find this mining base again without them. Still south? Yep. Dead ahead. Okay. There it is. I found it. Ran out of roots. I am automating these, aren't I? That's why I ran elemental life in here. Yeah. Alright, give me the goods, please. Hey, it must be Titanic. Oh, Earthen Might, whatever it's called, yeah. So Earth Grippers just got better. Great. I think that's pretty much the last research we're going to get from the Plane of Life until we move back. So I also need a bunch of streamways. The thing is, I feel bad throwing away all these moats. Like, I could load them onto this streamway so that the collectors don't collect if there's already moats. But I can't even do that very well, right? Because it would have to be loading both sides. Actually, okay, hang on. I didn't even pick up streamways while I was standing there because I had visions of wanting more than that. So, suppose, okay, I think I should take chests off my hotbar probably, honestly. All right, I'll throw away these motes of life to make chests. Are you happy now? Because whenever I need chests, I end up having to make some anyway. So I have my inventory open. Actually, let's make a bigger chest. It seems stupid, but... wow, it requires a lot. Yeah, it takes a ton to make this chest. Heavy chests are actually, like, cheaper than wide chests. Really? Aren't they over here? This is 24 elements and then another 12 elements. This is 32 and then 8. I've been making these as my default, like, whatever, I'd need a bigger chest because they look small. They're the same size as this and a different shape. I get that, but I don't know. You know what? I guess I should do the same. Well, I can't really do it here for Earth. You have to put it before the collector's in line, or else, like, the grippers just can't put it down. Oh, also I only have moats. I don't have elemental stuff, right? So if I take this... put it... does it matter, actually? Not really, I guess. I can't use multiple grippers for this very well. So this, I think... oh, these collectors ran dry, huh? The ones near the edge of the patch? Got it. So it's currently buffering motes, but not outputting them. Even though there's no... yeah, so that must mean we must have just stopped consuming motes. Whatever I was doing with them is over. But if I... well... no, the motes, of course, can output... or the collectors can output faster than the gripper cans. This isn't really saving much work. Is it? I mean, as long as we're not consuming too quickly, the gripper actually keeps up, and maybe that keeps this patch from going dry too soon. Not that, like, you know, shepherding a patch for a really long time is a high priority of mine, but it feels wasteful to keep throwing away all these motes that end up in my inventory against my will. And wouldn't it be nice if I could do something better with them, right? Okay. Back to roots. Okay, I should also decide, I suppose, where I'm going to turn all the elemental motes I've harvested into bound elements. I think it should be after I'm done harvesting them all, right? Just ship like 3 streams of motes and then fork them off to grind some and bind the others. And then where am I going to do my research? I'd like to do it away from the places I'm doing stuff on the life plane, right? This is kind of my last stop to pick up modes. I guess let's put down the collectors and see how much we get here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a full 16. We're a bit intersecting with this mountain. And I'm out of collectors. Should have picked some up while I was at base. That's why I automated it. I just wanted to make sure I had a bunch of streamways. Speaking of, on the way back, let's run a streamway parallel to this. It's so hard to draw straight lines. For one thing, there's the hex grid. But also, you're constantly walking into little doodads. Why can't I harvest this? It's just... there's nothing? What is this? It's a very, very small ocean? Or, well, you know, mountain, chasm, whatever. Okay. Now, actually... this is a great source of salt for binding all of the fire and life coming in on this track. Right? That makes sense to me. We are close to the portal, right? Yeah. I'll just go pick up more collectors. Which are here. Nope, those are grindstones. Here. I never put these in a chest, huh? I definitely want a chest of those. I think I said that I didn't, but that was a lie. Told to deceive you for no reason. Because I do want this mining project. I want to put down, 100 collectors all in one relatively short time. So, My quarry collectors can collect a great deal of stone. Right? 1 per second, it says. But I think it's actually 2 per second because they have 2 outputs. So a single quarry collector makes 4 times as much earth as a simple collector does fire. If I understand it correctly. So those 2 little patches of earth right here should be enough salt to bind all of this junk I'm harvesting, right? I think that's true. Oh, there's 3 patches even, so if I really need another, I have it. But I need a lot of grindstones for that, right? Because I don't have a more efficient way to make salt. Unless it's out of water, which obviously it's not. I wonder if I should have shipped motes of water instead of elemental water, just as a more efficient way to make salt. I think that's crazy. I won't have a high throughput of water from the other plane anyway. High enough that I would want to use it for something as simple as salt. It's a rare element that I can't get access to here. I want to use it for its elemental purposes. So what was I looking at? Production. No. Reagents, salt. Yeah, 1 per 2 seconds. So every single quarry collector can power... can fulfill, let's say... I know, this is me being obsessed with ratios for no reason. 1 per second. Can fulfill 4 grindstones. Making salt. Which also means that a single patch of earth can make enough salt to cover 4 patches of fire. Or to bind 4 patches of fire, anyway. Not so with life, because we have the fancy collectors for life that aren't as good as the earth ones, but they're still good. Okay. So, oh, here's the life. Earth. I'd appreciate it if you would spawn a rift like right now so I could cement in my mind that yes, harvesting motes really does create rifts. And not just placing collectors. Which is what I thought before. I kind of want this whole space clear because I'm making a lot of salt. I need a lot of grindstones for that. I guess I shouldn't even do it here. I should do it like over here, right? Oh my god, more earth. What am I going to do with all these motes? There's not some way I could just say trash all of this? Like, it's so useless. Here, turn it into salt. At least do something useful with your life. It's spending my mana? I guess that matters. I don't know. Oh, one thing I don't actually have is a bunch of quarry collectors. I need more elemental earth for that, I guess. But I can lay out grindstones. And I surely want, I mean, a ton of them, right? The Streamway can support 64 items per second. Or no, it's only 16. I somehow got it fixed in my mind that slabs were 16 back when I was discovering, like, but no, slabs are 4, and then 4 times that is just 16. So 16 items per second is a Streamway. I surely want that much, right? Which is 32 grindstones. I can do that. Look, I made 80 of them. Or no, 58? It's a little hard for me to read that number. Building so many, it would be nice to come up with some design that doesn't demand interspersing life blooms or mana blooms, right? So that I can just do this. That's what, 8, 4, 9, 10. And I want it to be 16 tall. No, hang on. Yes, I want 16. I want 2 columns of 16 for a total of 32, I think. That's my current ambition anyway. And suppose I were to do this without life blooms, which it looks like I'm doing now. How would this be laid out? I would need roots all along here and here. And then along the back as well to handle the grippers, right? And then I can have input streamways going I guess I don't care what direction the input streamways go. Let's say this way. Nope, not like that. Needs more space. Because my grippers are gonna have to be pretty far away. So the streamway actually has to look like this. Right, and then I can just have these spaced every other. And then the outputs can be actually much closer. Nope. I was thinking, oh, I'll just put the gripper here. But of course, it can't reach adjacent to itself. So it would have to be like this. Let's build a bunch more reaching grippers. Actually, I don't have elemental earth anymore, do I? That's the problem. I gotta go find some. Yeah, I don't know. At some point, I kind of fell in love with mana blooms spreading rampant roots through everything. And I think I may have gotten too, like, focused in on that's the only way to build. I saw someone on the Discord who posted some small build that was using roots like this. in a discussion about whether rampant bloom is good or not. And I was like, that doesn't actually look to me like it's better for space, because it's so much wider than this kind of build. And it's narrower by what? Half? Or not narrow, it's longer by maybe half. But I don't know, like looking at this, and looking at that example in the Discord, I was like, yeah, actually, maybe this is taking up more space than I realized. And the length of production lines is something that needs to scale more often than their width, right? So having them be thinner or shorter is kind of nice, I think. Where's my elemental earth? It's around here somewhere. Isn't it? Maybe not. Maybe I don't have any. I do, right? I think I don't. No, I do. It's down here. What am I doing with it? Just putting it in a chest? Okay, well, I mean, that's fine for now. That's what I want, I guess. I mean, I want reaching grippers, but I don't really have grippers automated, and that would be a bit of a tall order at the moment, so I'll just leave it. So, let me just count again. 4, 8, 12, 16. Yes, this is 16. 16 grindstones. Making salt. Makes 8 salt per second. So, to saturate a streamway, which is, as it says here, 16 per second, I need this twice, which is fine. That's the plan. Oh, Where am I binding all these elements? I think, yeah, I do want to go southwest. There's not room to do it up here. That's crazy talk. It's nice to finally, in this game, be setting up a large production line. I feel like in Factorio, I was so used to just like stamping out like 24 smelters or whatever, or 48 or however many you need. I think 48 when you're using like stone is my recollection. And it actually looks kind of appealing to be just so uniform. Alright, so then I want to just do the same thing again, but mirrored. I might have to move these roots. I don't think I have space. If I rotate it, is this better somehow? No, right? That's not... It's not taking up any less space. It's just offset a bit. Okay. Yeah, so these roots have to move, but not by much. And this input actually wants to go the other direction. Hey. Because all the salt, or all the earth is actually coming from the south. My idea is that there's 2 earth patches here. I'll just have each of them feed one side of the grinder array. So I said it takes how many quarry collectors to satisfy this? This is 16 per second, which I think is just 4 quarry collectors. Is that crazy? Maybe I don't even need the other patch. Can I fit 8 here? No. Any chance I could design something cool? Oh, maybe I could. These tile together way better than I realized. Wait a second. He's cooking? Oh, maybe I don't need to touch this patch at all. Maybe I can use that patch to make elemental earth. Yeah, I mean, that's 8. Right? Oh, these are too close. I see. I would have to do this. It's actually difficult to split this into 2 sections of 4, isn't it? The way I've laid it out. But there's so many that I think it's fine. Like, there's so much space. Could I do something like this? I can even fit a bloom in the middle, no problem? Yeah, no problem, right? Because I can collect from these 4 on this side, and these 4 on this side, and like, it's great. I think I need more reaching rippers than this. It's actually probably better. No, don't try to trick me. I want you to go that way. And then have these. It's pretty close, but I think connecting to the top is still simpler. Yeah, so, okay. This system is powered, right? If I connect roots up, the whole thing will just spring into life? Yeah. Hang on, why? I clicked here. What's with this? Those aren't roots. Are they? There's nothing there. Is it showing me something on the life plane accidentally or something? What's happening? This is showing me a whole bunch of stuff that isn't there. Is this my life factory? I'm not sure, but I mean, this looks like something. It even happens when I'm zoomed in, right? Yeah, so Huh. I'm gonna submit a bug report for this, I guess. Let me pause the recording while I type it out. Alright. Bug report submitted. Why was I looking at this? Just see if it was all powered, because I wanted to see if when I plug it in, I get something that looks very much like half of a streamway. Or I guess, actually, I'll just finish it and see if I can get a whole streamway. Because I think I do have that much earth coming in, right? And, like, I don't know. The scale of this construction, on the one hand, it's not all that large, right? It's just a tiny... well, I guess by calling it tiny, I've assumed the conclusion. But it's fully contained in this relatively small space. And what it's making is, you know, a common enough... I need more grippers, which I guess means I need more salt. I need more ether. I wish I had grippers automated, but it's currently beyond me, apparently. Just turn these straight into earth grippers, will you? It's bigger in scope than anything I've built so far in this game. I've built larger builds than this, but they were for more complicated things, right? Oh, whoops, this is the output. You should not go there. Move the roots again, I guess. Like, in order to actually... I don't know. Like I said, I've built bigger stuff, but I haven't previously built anything that imagines using raw ingredients to such a scale. And, you know, I'm always belittling my factory player skill level / experience. Like, yeah, I played some Factorio. I'm not especially good at it. I play with biters off. I launched a rocket, but, like, I never really got to, like, doing a bunch of infinite science or whatever. And some players will say playing without biters, like, isn't even really playing. Point is, I don't get stuff done quickly. And so I don't really build very big. This is like, oh, it's just one belt. But it's like, it's 4 belts, kind of. It's a streamway, which is 16. And this doesn't feel that grand a scale. But it does make me think, how much research am I going to have to do to actually use all of this throughput? How much brimstone am I going to be building that I need this stuff? I guess that's a question, actually. Let's look. What does it take to make life keystones? Obviously, I'm not planning to build that with salt, but, like, salt is an ingredient on the way, right? So... where is life keystone? Here it is. I imagine I'll want to build lots of earth keystones while I'm here, right? This could be the pinnacle of production. And you look at it and it's like, well... oh, it doesn't really tell you, because... okay, this takes 27 motes, basically, right? Plus, it also takes 3 each of coralite and bismuth. So what do those take? 6 each. So that's 6 times 6. It's another 36. So 36 and 27. If I wanted to build a life keystone per second, let's say. Which, considering that there's research that takes, 500 of them, 1 per second would be, yeah, okay, that's a reasonable number, I guess. Plus, there's, they require other expensive stuff. So that would take around 50, 36 and 27, 63 motes per second spread out across 2 elements. This is 16 motes per second of Earth, I think. So I'm going to need... Yeah, I was trying to talk myself down and say, I'm never, even for doing research, I'm never going to consume all of this salt or whatever, or enough elements to need all of this salt. But actually you do. If you want 1 science per second, which in Factorio is usually a relatively low bar for players who are trying to build somewhat big. I would need around 4 times this much salt and ether. Or, yeah, I think that's true. 4 times this many motes. So I think it's not unreasonable to build all of this. I'm gonna have to, I don't even have a single reaching gripper yet. Oh my god. I shouldn't have told it to make normal grippers and then make earth grippers. I should have just said make earth grippers and it would make the intermediate reaching ones. But yeah, I think this is sensible. Alright, I guess in the meantime, I can start laying out what's going to come next. Which is a bunch of binding. So let's imagine then that I wanted to make fire keystones at 1 per second, because I'll have to eventually to do all this research. I was saying 1 per second. I mean, I don't know. You shouldn't really need 1 per second, really, because there's 500 times 6 ish. Total is all you ever need for research. 6,000 at 1 per second, that's 2 hours of research. The amount of time you spend building stuff is gonna to get that 2 hours to go by quickly. I don't know, you don't need 1 per second, I guess, but it seems like a decent number to aim for so you don't have to wait hours for all this stuff to finish, as I have done with everything else. Do I have grippers yet? Yes. So, and I think I do actually like this roots-based approach. It takes up more horizontal space, but it's just much easier to lay out, and it's more visually apparent exactly what's happening, right? It's harder to mess up. Oh, by the way, this Man of Bloom's gonna have a little trouble getting power. It's not impossible. It does... no. Here, I guess, is where underground roots might be useful, actually. Because I could change the symmetry and, have this drawing from here or something to make sure there's a gap, an area where there's a part of the stream that no one's taking from. But... artifice, I guess? Yeah, if I just make an underground route. That would kind of make the... design less obvious what's happening. Easier to get wrong. This is quite simple. Well... Oh, I guess the issue is just that this is still a little too low. You never give yourself enough space. Because I need to be able to route the roots. Hey! Stop that! Route the roots over the top. So this is actually connected. If I plug things into this, stuff will start happening, which I don't want yet. I want to kick it all off at a coordinated time so I can confirm that I'm getting the throughput I think I should be getting. I guess that'll be hard to do though, because the collectors won't all kick into line at the same time, will they? The ones closer to the start will get their stuff first. Out of curiosity, how much do Streamway Deltas cost? Should I be prioritizing them more? I mean, so they're like 3 streamways and 3 slabs, which I guess means they're... $639. Yes, they cost about 3 streamways. So actually, if I can save... Wouldn't this be... No, because I'm not... No, I can't actually squeeze this in here. It would be kind of nice if instead of going up and then back down, I just split, went both up and down at the same time. But the streamway is too big. I can't... Yeah, maybe I could fit it in. But it's not really an important goal. I guess I could if I put the route literally anywhere else. Yeah, why not? Let's continue trying to innovate this design a little bit. Just make sure there's enough space for the delta, right? There you go. That wasn't so bad, was it? So this whole area is now one big network. Disconnected, I should say, from the outside world. Also, this got messed up, I think on purpose, but I don't remember. Oh, these are backwards. Except this first one, which somehow is right. Why won't you go? Hello? Oh, no, it's not already, right? Huh? You're supposed to be able to place on top of grippers, and I was for a minute. And then suddenly I can't for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Okay, yeah, let's build more reaching grippers. So how can I confirm that we're getting a full streamways of output? I think, like, okay, so what does a Titan gripper do? How much does it move? How many grippers would it take me? Ooh, wait a minute. I wonder if there could have been some approach that would use root-bound grippers to good effect here. Yes, I suppose. You could make this narrower by weaving the grippers through with roots, right? Like root-bound gripper. Oh, wait a minute. Root-bound grippers also. I mean, I don't want to build this. It's super expensive. I can't even make much bismuth. I guess I can. But it's super expensive. Not really worth it. But these are earth grippers, actually, right? So they should benefit from Earth's gripping capacity. I don't need that here, but I could cut out all these lines of roots and squeeze things in more if I used root-bound grippers, and then bound them together with roots. I don't need the space, but it's something to keep in mind for future builds. Anyway, so Titan grippers. I have one now. It moves 4 items per second. So I should need exactly 4 of these to empty a streamway, right? Well, let's just build 4. And a big old chest. I turned all my... No, I have a big old chest. Just to confirm for myself that... Actually... I think I need a different shape of chest. I need this one. Oh my god, they're massive. I don't know why it's so important to me that I prove this actually is a full streamway. I think it's because, like, I don't understand how these collectors work yet. And I'd like to see evidence that they do what I think they do. Also, this bloom maybe should have just been more mana roots. Right? No, this is actually more expensive than just using a root. A bloom, I should say. Not that, like, expense is the most important metric, but this is another thing. I guess verdant streams would be nice to run the root network along the streamways, I guess. All right, so that... I guess I can't work roots in here, can I? So this definitely is a bloom problem. And it's a temporary setup, so I don't mind at all that it's weird. I'm going to tear this down once I have all the salt in the world. Okay, let's... Yeah, I'm suddenly finding that I love the idea of burrow roots, even though at the time I researched them, I said, like, when would I ever need this? I could just underground the streamway or something, but... It's really nice to have the streamways be predictable. Roots should be seen and not heard, I guess. Oh, it just builds right on top of normal ones. That's kind of funny. I don't know if I like that, because now it's hard to even see that there is a burrow root there. These look disconnected, but they're not. Yeah, this doesn't look right. This is only half as much as I thought it was. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator, 4 alligator. Yeah, so it's making 2 every 4 seconds. Which is exactly what it says. But I thought that was per collection point. And that's what these two represented, is that they're coming out at... I don't know. Oh, whoops, I forgot to put back the one I deleted. So it's easy to observe in multiple different ways that we're only producing half a streamway of salt here. Right? Half of the grindstones aren't doing anything, and the belt looks about half full through the stream. So, that's fine. That was what I had in mind originally when I built this. I only realized later that, wait a minute, maybe I'm getting more resources than I thought I was. So let's cut this off. And just have this streamway go here and also over to the other one. No. Have it not go over the other one. Only power this side. So this other salt patch, earth patch, that I'm soon going to mine. Do I have any? I have tons of quarry collectors, right? Yeah. Although I guess I want 8. Okay, so I had... How did I build this before? Like this, I guess. It really looks like I can fit so many on this patch. I don't know. I guess that's why I built 8 and still had tons of room left. So let's assume I'm plopping in a bloom. I don't have to, but I don't really need the maximum yield from these patches. Just do this. Okay, it's going to make way more sense if I have this going north instead of south. Well, you've got this kidnapped. You were going to pick it up, but you ran out of power. That's kind of funny. I don't think I told you to do that. There we go. So now just my little burrow route. There. Right? And when I reconnect this, we should start seeing an actual streamway full of nothing but salt. With no gaps. It doesn't look like that's what I'm seeing, does it? Something wrong? You're going the wrong way. Anyone else not doing anything? You're going the wrong way. Okay, this is pretty close to a full belt at the end. I could believe that we're there. Or very nearly. Yeah, that chest sure is filling up. Let's just do another audit for collectors or grippers pointing the wrong way. It looks okay. I saw someone in the Discord remark that it's really important that you can tell which way a Factorio inserter is pointing even if it's not moving. And with these, you can barely tell even if they are. Well, okay, if they're moving, you can tell, but it would be nice to be able to distinguish them a bit better visually. Okay, I'd say this has accomplished the goal. We have very nearly a full streamway of salt at the bottom here. Now it's full, of course, because there's nowhere for it to go. Great. And now I can just turn these around, and they'll empty out the belt, or the chest, into the new binding station, and then I can remove the chest when it's all set up. That does not strike me as a problem. Elemental binders, elemental binders, elemental binders. I automated them, but I did not pick any up. Sure. Why is your output Nitor? You obtained grindstones as input. No. What's wrong with this? You're supposed to be outputting collectors. No. Elemental binders. Elemental binders cost grindstones and salt prisms. So you somehow got some ether in here, huh? How did you do that? Did you take it out of this machine? No, you're not connected to that. Did you? No, this chest is full of only grindstones. Oh, that's the problem. I thought that I was grabbing more of these more of these salt prisms, but actually I was grabbing some ether. Okay, just get rid of that then. I'll grab a few more grindstones while I'm here. And a bunch more collectors? That should be enough for all the fire motes, and I guess to turn into earth and life collectors. Okay, but what I actually came down here for was... Okay, you also should not be doing that. is elemental binders, which I have picked up. Okay, great. I guess I need more... I still haven't automated grippers. It feels bad. I need more ether for that, which is over here. So, I want a streamway delta here to split the incoming salt. By the way, we're still doing totally fine on power. Okay. Into... I mean, really 3 makes some sense, right? Some to bind life, some to bind fire, and some to, like, make junk out of salt if I have the spare resources, right? Because I still haven't automated grippers, and that's sort of embarrassing. Shipping some salt to the main base would be nice. Because I have to do... Yeah, I mean... To do Earth research... Well... Okay, remind me again what it took to do the... terrarium stuff. It basically just takes prisms and bismuth, right? And prisms are just salt prisms and elemental whatever. So I guess, okay. Yeah. I need to make salt prisms as well. Salt prisms should be a fairly highly demanded item by a research factory, I would assume, right? That was a thing we were running into. And I mean even more so because we're gonna for the fire research that isn't just like these two and whatever's here. We're going to need more than just elemental fire and salt prisms. We're going to need to build, like, lava barriers, which I don't remember what they take, but, like, I assume it's salt related. Yeah. So we need to automate pedestals. We need a bunch of spare ether, I guess. So having salt prisms come in would be nice. So, I guess I want... Well, you know what I want. I want to take a break. Pretty much this is all I built today. I mean, that's not really true. But, you know, I built the collectors up there. I, did a little bit new automation at the home base, whatever. But I want to start by making... I haven't even looked at the... I mean, there's nothing to look at yet. No, right. I was thinking, of course, I'll have to do research combining life and fire as well. But there isn't any. I don't need life prisms here. So I shouldn't need that much elemental life. It's just for making roots, basically, right? Yeah. Well, that's not true. I need life to make bismuth. No? I don't need bismuth. Do I? No, I don't. Bismuth is for this stuff. Brimstone needs earth and fire, and that's it. And I'm not unlocking any other hybrid areas, just this one. So, yeah, elemental life is, like, just for running mana roots through stuff here? It feels weird, like I should be doing more with it. But I guess I'm not. Okay, so I maybe don't have to build that much collection for the life up north. Anyway, so I think I was planning, oh, here's 3 things. I'll split this into, you know, go bind fire, bind life, and then, like, make stuff with salt. That's 3 paths, how convenient. But I shouldn't need vast amounts of elemental life. Like, what I have going into the base to make mana roots, that's pretty much it. That's all I need. So maybe what this should be is bind fire, make salt prisms, and then other stuff that needs to be done with salt. For example, making grippers, right? Which are like salt prisms plus salt or something. Well, okay, they're pedestals plus ether, which requires raw salt. Okay, but we'll do that tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.